like just understanding and listening to the inspiring people we had up front, and what they do, all the hard work, is probably also the reason why I feel so honored to be here today. Because when you listen to their story and when you get such kind words from Ruth, you also understand what the long run really is all about. It's about connecting on a very positive note, on an inspirational note, to getting us further, yet being very serious about this approach. And I think this human connection, and this beautiful words that you've just given me, I think I have to go and give those back to the community, to the people I am today allowed to work with. Because sometimes you get overwhelmed, you feel frustrated, it's such a big challenge ahead. Can we really, being so maybe alone or small, change the industry? And then it was these people. And then suddenly I said, yes, we can. Of course, nobody's asked to do it alone. So Singular Places is not a corporate brand. It's not a technology platform. It's just an amazing community of beautiful souls and people, all doing their things very differently and singular, but with such a wonderful heart and passion. So thank you for the introduction, that this goes out to over 100 people doing the right thing there, because they gave us the power to say we can do it. We can put this vision out in the market. But it also makes us a little bit humble. And this is why we joined along, because we said, if we are asking all that work out there, what do we do to be held accountable? So let me start with a big why. So we wanted to really transform the hospitality industry, but clearly linked to the tourism and travel industry. And how do we do this? Well, we just let travelers find and explore the leaders in sustainable and regenerative travel in their community, so that the visit to their destination will have an amazing experience as a vacation, as a trip, as a journey, but also do good and hopefully inspire them. But we wanted to be very honest about what tourism has done bad and is still doing bad. What is this negative impact of mass tourism? The environmental degradation, yeah, which is seen and visible and felt, even especially in these current months. We also have the extraction, which means that most of the money people are willing to spend in a destination for their journeys is being extracted. So it cannot do any good in that destination. And this means we cannot find the socioeconomic inequalities that exist. So we really needed to find something that is a more fair, responsible, and in the future, much more regenerative business model. But we didn't want to do this very quick. We didn't want this to make it beautiful because it's the flavor of the month, to sell it. We wanted a really long-term, fair, and collaborative business model to really benefit all. And so what was the base, the starting point? It was only because I was lucky to work now well over 20 years, mostly in the boutique and unbranded hotels and resorts, private people doing the right thing. So it was very easy to connect the very, very sound and wonderful base of this community with the first 20, 25 people, because there was a personal connection. There was knowledge about what they did and what they were working for. And so it was the trust of these people. And then we started to getting our first team members on board internally to say, okay, now we work on a promotion, we work on technology. And then we said, okay, wow, now based on these values, how can we grow? Because, it was 2025, you still deliver something, but how can we inspire even more? Because we knew if I had already found 25 amazing people, there's probably others out there, probably many people in this call who surely know about other great works, and just listening to the inspiring stories in the morning was part of this. So what we really decided is our core strengths, we go out, we connect humans, we find the best ones, and then we let them shine in all their individual style and singularity and diversity. And so this is why we believe that all together we can make travel better. But let's come to the challenges that are there and we must be honest about. What about greenwashing? Because if you go out today, and probably many of you, when they do journeys and trips, they go and say, oh, find me a local boutique hotel. And suddenly everybody is local, authentic, sustainable. So we had to find a way to cut through this noise. At the same time, we didn't want this to be a green hotel platform. We wanted this to be about amazing experiences for the travelers, because at the end, if we inspire many that a different way of travel is possible, then we really shift the industry. Technology was a big issue because working with all these small boutique hotels, and especially globally, which was from the very first start, that's what we wanted. It means you connect to small players that take local, sometimes because of economic reasons, cheap technology solutions. So it's not always easy to connect also the travelers to these properties. And that was a struggle that we have to live with. At the end, saying that this is a project that we like, but we also want it to be true. So how do we communicate? Why do we like it for you, dear traveler? Because of the experience. And this is the impact they do. And also be very, very honest about what they don't do. Nobody's pretending to be perfect, but we surely have heroes in all of the four C's. And this is why they have also become and will be even more visible on our website. We will talk more and more about the four C's and who is great in conservation, who is great in community, who is great in culture, and who is leading in the commercial part. We also wanted to clearly, which I mentioned before, avoid extraction. So we will not charge the traveler. The traveler will directly pay first the local businesses. And only then do we go back and take our commission when the locals have been paid. And then we needed to find this local heroes, you know. Yes, the first ones we knew, but how could we go and make sure that the same happens in Chile, the same happens in Uruguay, the same happens in Croatia, and the same can happen in Vietnam? So our resolution, how are we overcoming this? It was really about the local communities and our ambassadors. The one thing, the biggest power we found in all this tech battle online and SEO machines, the one thing that we probably have standing out is our humans. It is absolutely powerful that we don't just have a team of 6, but we have 50 ambassadors, people who share our values. They have their daily jobs, but they help us to really, in their region, identify the who is who, take the good away from the ugly, and say, as these are real impact driven people, these are amazing experiences for the travelers. And by connecting them this way, the next one also will connect us to even more. So it's just a growing community. And at the same time, we also now starting the first feedback loops and saying, oh no, you haven't just joined the community, you haven't just connected us to somebody else, but have you heard that this person is really great by creating natural pools? Maybe your next investment should be going this way. This person is a leader in supporting the local art and culture scene, not just the traditional one, but also the modern one. Reach out to them, collaborate, learn from best practices. So that is really helping us to help people grow without creating a monster of operating standards. And then we have invested in technology partnerships, but that doesn't just mean that we invested money. We also had to look for the right tech partners who understand the bigger version. So two of the key examples were an interactive map, which comes from a Spanish startup. And also we have got an experienced CRS partner who listened to us and said, okay, we understand your struggle. You don't want people to use our software. So we will start connecting channel after channel after channel, which means a lot of investment, but it's a long-term collaboration. And obviously we now want to look for more. And the big one, and that's why it's here as a separate point, is how can we be held accountable and really measure our success in positive impact? So, and thank you also for the long run, by the way, which brought to the table a company like Decors, where we can start with first pilot project with ourselves to go and measure through technology more efficiently our impact. We also said, probably after 12 or 18 months down the line, when it was a big of struggle still, community was growing slowly, technology wasn't working, we said, no, we're going to stay to our slow but conscious growth. We will need money, but we will not grow for growth. So it is part of our company's values and the actual constitution that we have a bigger value to go for. Economic viability, well, we haven't reached it yet, but we have income and we have a business model, which was, and this is a great opportunity to invite you to check out our website, sign up for the newsletter. There is a booking engine where we now connect all the hotels so you can directly book them on this fair commission model. And so we hope that by 2025 will be our first year of economic, let's say at least break even. So, but what has been the outcome so far? And that's what we said, let's be honest, let's show it. Well, while building first the B2B community, and that was the most important part to really get the right people together, we have now reached over 130 people and places. Our target is to present you 500 amazing hosts in 2026. Very crucial for us was also that because of these local people telling us and cutting through the noise, we were able to connect really to indigenous run properties, a lot of female owned businesses. And while, yes, we have a lot of successful long-term businesses, we were also there to help people early on their journey, which is really powerful. Our own team, 6 people, 5 nationalities. So we try to keep ourselves diverse as well. Also to work in different time zones, to have people supporting in Asia. And like you guys started early today, we hope we're going to see more of you people also on our side. We have launched the technology investment with our partners, very proud to test it, check it out. And if you feel some positive comments, we're keen to learn. So also our website was really relaunched together with the tech because this is more about inspiring the travelers. Again, no lifted finger, no educational programs in the bad meaning of the word. This is about the person. Because very often also the people need the moment for themselves because only if we are strong and happy inside, we can then come back and change our own environment. So we want very inspired, very happy travelers. We have reached the first 100,000, which was a big milestone by the end of 23, which was mostly still based on consultancy, impact support, sustainability, advisory. But also very important, we had trusted investors that have now also invested over 100,000 in the company for people. And they really signed and agreed that, yes, they will share part of our growth, but they can never touch the purpose or the values. And I think this is so much trust that they have put in us. And how do we work on a financial structure? To be open book, to be very honest, we take a 14% commission. Again, only once the locals have charged. Part of this goes to our tech partners because they also spend a lot of time and effort in growing with us. And we also want to share this with our ambassador network, the local experts that they really help us. So we give part of it back to this network just to thrive. They will not get rich on it, but it will maybe allow a good get together in the regions and like a small meeting. Additionally, 10% of our income that is generated in a specific destination goes back to a local NGO, always, which we select, obviously, not from Berlin, but with the local partners. And 10% of our remaining profit goes to a global NGO. Our NGOs, usually, we try to choose them by being around biodiversity and education. So we hope that we have found this circle of starting with humans, getting together on values, very similar to the long run, trying to be accountable, trying to be held accountable, doing the real thing. And thank you so much for listening to our story. And please feel free to ask any questions, to visit us, and also to challenge us when you think we can do something better. Thank you so much for your time and for this opportunity today.